How do governors and presidents activate the National Guard? Imagine a situation where a city faces a natural disaster or a national emergency arises that requires immediate assistance. Who steps in to provide support? The answer often involves the activation of the National Guard, a reserve military force that operates under both state and federal authority. Understanding how this activation occurs reveals the complex coordination between state leaders and the federal government. The process begins with the recognition of a need for assistance. When a state experiences an emergency such as a hurricane, flood, or civil unrest, the governor of that state has the primary authority to activate the National Guard within their jurisdiction. This activation is typically initiated through a formal request or declaration of a state of emergency. The governor can order the National Guard to assist with disaster response, law enforcement support, or other emergency services. This action allows the National Guard to operate under the command of the governor and follow state laws and regulations. However, there are circumstances where the federal government becomes involved. The President of the United States has the authority to activate the National Guard for federal missions. This can happen in several ways. One common method is through a federal order called a presidential executive order. When the president issues such an order, the National Guard units are transferred from state control to federal control, often to support national interests or respond to national emergencies. This transfer is formalized through a process called federalization. The president can also activate the National Guard through the Department of Defense, which coordinates with the Department of Homeland Security or other federal agencies. This federal activation often occurs during large-scale emergencies, national security threats, or when the military assistance is deemed necessary beyond the scope of state capabilities. Once federalized, the National Guard units operate under the command of the president and the federal military chain of command. In some cases, the activation involves a combination of both state and federal authority. For example, during a major disaster, the governor might request federal assistance, and the president may choose to federalize parts of the National Guard to supplement state efforts. This collaboration ensures a flexible and effective response to various emergencies. In summary, governors activate the National Guard primarily through declarations of emergency and direct orders within their state, while the president activates the Guard through federal orders, often involving formal federalization. Both methods are designed to ensure rapid, coordinated responses to protect citizens and maintain order during crises.